afternoon, good evening. My name is Bakari Beckwith, and I'm from here in Monroe, Louisiana. Been here all my life, and I have a ministry, BKG Ministries. And this weekend, we are hosting a conference at the Monroe Civic Center, and dealing with a lot of different issues, and trauma and hurt. And in the process of doing that, I wanted to reach out to a demographic of people that I felt like this city hadn't really kept in mind. And so I reached out to Captain Casey, and he gave us permission to come here and do this show for you guys. And we're excited to be here. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy, but I'm telling you, this is what I just tell everybody. Dude is like laugh out loud funny. And so we wanted to bring some joy to you. And so I'm going to introduce him. He's brought laughter to the Tonight Show on NBC, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Comedy Central, and had featured starring roles in films War Room and Selfie Day. Known as a comic thought leader, he keynotes for TED Talks and wrote the best-selling book, Funny How Life Works. Please welcome Michael Jr.
Much. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. It's gonna be great. That cross seems smaller, right? Seemed like he was just carrying it on his back, like a backpack. All right, we're gonna have some fun. Cool. It's gonna be great. I'm not the only black speaker here. There's one right here. We got Carter too.
We need more chairs?
First of all, thanks for giving me you guys the time. I really appreciate it. I can tell we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna laugh. It's gonna be awesome. Bro, what's your name? I can tell you like to laugh. What's your name? Come plug in.
Oh, Nathan.
Oh, Nathan?
Yes, sir.
Your name is Oh Nathan?
No, Nathan.
Oh, Nathan. That's cool. You don't look that old to me, Nathan. So we're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be cool. What's your name, bro? Charlie. Like the Catfish place. Oh, cool. You not old Charlie though, because that's what they do. Okay. All right, cool. Well, hey, in prayer, I was praying before this, and I was like, yo, God, because that's how we talk. I said, what do you want me to say to the people when we get here? And this is the second time this happened, ever. God wants me to tell you that he is proud of you. Like, for real, like, I'm just telling you, on the real. In preparation today, God said to tell you proud of you. Pretty dope. So now we're gonna laugh. So I love people. I'm a hugger. Anybody like hugging people?
Yes. No.
That's the first thing you said all night, bro. You was like, yes. You shouldn't say it like that. You scare people when you say it like that. Y'all hug people. First words was yes. It's just a little weird the way you said it just now. Fellas, we hug, right? We hug, but we got rules when we hug, don't we? Fellas, we got some rules. Rule number one, when two men hug, this is the first rule. The hug can only last 1.4 seconds. And you know the hug is over because rule number two, every time we hug, what we do, fellas? We tap out. Tap, tap, release. You ever notice how you tap out? You like tap, tap, release. You ever tap out and they don't release? Tap, tap, bro. Tap, tap. I tapped this dude so hard he burped. I'm like, dude, you just burped, man. He just burped. Just for fun, I'm gonna randomly ask him a question. You like to hug people?
No.
Absolutely. I wasn't talking to you, I was just talking to him. I wanted to hear his, yeah. What's your name, bro, with the Superman shirt on?
Oh, my name is Brian.
Your name is All Man Brian. Cool. Oh. What up, Brian? You said Brian?
Exactly.
Where you from, Brian?
New Iberia.
Where?
New Iberia, Louisiana.
I've never heard of him.
New
You said
Iberia.
you went to the library, is that what you said? That's good for you, man. What'd you read about, bro? I've never heard of that before.
About Lafayette.
Oh, yeah,
Down
Lafayette.
south.
Oh, yeah, down south. I have no idea where any of that stuff is, man, but I believe you, bro.
I'm closer to New Orleans.
Oh, we having a whole conversation, huh? I didn't even know that. That's cool, man. How old are you, buddy?
27.
27. Wow, I remember when I was 27. Like 27 years ago, man.
They're trying to take my ways.
Okay, I'm gonna carry on with the show now, man. Okay, cool. Good choice, though, to try to change the ways. It's a good choice. So I'm gonna do some more jokes, then I'm gonna talk to some more folks. My niece asked me a question. She had some English homework, and she said, what's the difference between a soft G and a hard G? I said, a soft G is from the Bay Area. A hard G is from Compton. This is hysterical. A soft G, because you're not a hard G unless you're from the hood. I should have researched what the hood is around here. I probably could have used that instead. What's the hood in this area? What's the hood? Or we're in it, huh?
You're in
Probably.
it.
Where? This is it right here. Okay, cool. We're at Booker. What'd you say? Booker T. Booker T. What? Booker T. Washington is the hood? You guys are confusing me right now. Okay, cool. I didn't know Booker T was. Is that a street? Because every neighbor. Oh, that's a street. Why they do that? Why black people's street is always jacked up? Martin Luther King Boulevard is always a fight. We should change the name of some of the streets. The white people say George Washington Boulevard. People will stop fighting. So here's what happens when I'm on stage. I am literally listening in between the gaps. Normally when my audience is laughing, what I'm doing at that time is I'm asking God. Normally I'm asking, how can I get more laughs from people? But after meeting God, I started asking a different question, which was, what can I give to my audience? I'm listening in between the gaps. That's all I'm doing. So when I did the Tonight Show, so as he mentioned, I've been on a bunch of TV. I've been at the Tonight Show, I've done Comedy Central, and I felt like God wanted me to also do prisons and homeless shelters. That is a good-looking Jesus right there. Look at that. The way Jesus, that is an amazing, it's like a model. You think that's him? I don't know, I never met him like face to face like that before, but that's a good looking. Like he knocking on the door. You have? For real? What'd he say?
This when I was 19. This when
When you was 19, you met Jesus?
Almost.
Like you died or something? Like how'd you meet Jesus?
I was sick. I was really dying. I was dying to smoke mojo.
So you was smoking weed with Jesus. Is that? Oh, it was Mojo. Okay, you and Jesus you was smoking Mojo and Jesus showed up. That happened when you smoked that Mojo. Jesus show up and Martin Luther King and everybody else would show up. You hung out with Jesus for 8 years?
No, I've been clean sober from mojo for 8 years.
You've been clean and sober from Mojo for 8 years. Cool. Have you seen Jesus? Give him a round of applause. That is dope. No Mojo. I don't even know what Mojo is.
Came out of here.
Oh, you just chime in at random points in time, don't you? You like hugging people and synthetic weed. Thank you so much. I mean, you don't like it, but you know what it is. Oh, thank you. So synthetic, like they made weed?
Yes, sir. It's like synthetic marijuana.
Oh,
And on the
wow.
bag, this how stupid I was. It's on the bag, it says an African show.
Wow. Glad you're free now, man.
I just came out of rehab about 2 months ago. And I think this
Wait, so you said it been 8 years. Oh, you haven't done Mojo in 8 years,
Yeah, I just came out of
but you did something else since then. Yeah, he was like, no Mojo. But let me get this cracked. Is that how you said it? Like, what was it? Like, what was your next thing?
Oh, my thing was methamphetamine.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. So watch this. Man, this is so cool. So life will bring you people and circumstances to reveal where you're not free. So life will bring you people and circumstances to reveal where you're not free. The event that I just did a little while ago, I told the story about when I was homeless. I mean, I wasn't like homeless, I had a car, right? I was living in my car. I told people my address was 1997 Illumina Drive. So I was living in my car, and in the mornings around 11:30, I would go to Subway and get a $5 foot-long sub. Then I would have to cut it in half and just eat half of it. Then the second half, I would eat at night after I did a comedy show, and that was my meal for the day. In the middle of the night, I would have to start my car up because in New York it was really cold. So I'd have to start my car up probably about every 55 to 65 minutes to stay warm. So I'm homeless, living in my car, and I did a show, and this comedian named George Wallace saw me and saw that I was funny, and he offered to do a show with me, and I was super excited about it. Fast forward a little bit, I mean, Jesus, all that is great, but now God has started to give me some understanding with regards to some things in life. Normally what I do on stage is I'll do a setup, I'll tell a story, and then there's a punchline at the end. But one way that God has really been blessing me lately is he showed me that I can do the same thing in reverse. Most of the time, a person's problem is like a punchline, and then I can reverse it and find out what setup got them to that problem. So for example, as I just mentioned, life will bring you people and circumstances to reveal where you're not free yet. But you can be free. You just have to look at the problems differently. Most of the time, people in here, and myself included, we always try to, when it comes to conflict, what do? We try to avoid it, or we create it, or if somebody got beef with us, we got beef too. But there's a secret that God just showed me recently in regards to conflict, and if you do this, it changes everything. Most of the time when somebody has conflict, for example, let's say you're driving down the street and somebody cuts you off in traffic. What's something that you might say? We wouldn't want to, yeah. You only got the bad answers, don't you? You never got a good. So it would be, let's just say it wouldn't be something nice. So they cut you off. How many people have been cut off in traffic before and made you mad? Raise your hand if it made you mad. Right. So that is a conflict right there. Life will bring you people and circumstances to reveal where you're not free. The truth is there's nothing at all that should be able to take you off your square. But if it does, that's an indicator that there's something going on inside of you, not outside of you. I'm going to show it to you. I want everybody here, I want you to think about something you can't stand, something that you hate. It bothers you. Ooh, you be ready. Just think about it. So take a deep breath. And I want you to imagine that thing is happening. Now, as you imagine it happening, I want you to pay attention to your physical body for where you might notice it at. Where do you notice it in your physical body as you think about this thing happening?
Keep it steep.
How many people are able to find the actual location in their physical body? Raise your hand. Anybody? You found a spot? Where'd you find it?
My heart.
Found it in your chest. Anybody else find a spot? So here's the thing. Normally 20% of the people actually find a location, but if you didn't find a location, it might be because instead of noticing it, you've tried to numb it. Hence the mojo stuff. But the next time you feel that, if you just get curious about it, God will show you something amazing. So what was the thing you thought about, bro? What was the thing you thought about?
What angers me?
Yeah.
Racism.
Racism. So he get mad when somebody racist, when somebody do something racist, right? You don't like it when people talk about white people. Is that right? He like, you got it backwards. Anyway, so watch this. I knew we was connected immediately. So watch this. You're gonna be an example, and I want everybody else to do. I'm telling you, if you do this, there's freedom. Watch this. So think about somebody doing something racist real quick. Give me your name again.
Nathan.
Nathan. That's right, Nathan. Oh, Nathan. So think about somebody doing something racist real quick, Nathan. And when you think about it, you notice it in your chest, right? So watch this. I need you to watch this. So Nathan, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pay attention to that area in your chest, and I want you to do a prayer real quick and just ask God, hey God, where did this feeling in my chest originally come from? And what's going to happen is he's going to give you a memory, a thought, something's going to pop up out of nowhere. Don't try to make sense of it, just whatever shows up, just tell me about it. So pray and say, God, where did this originally come from? Watch what happens. You got something? Boom. What'd you get?
What was done to me personally
Yeah, exactly. What was the memory? What came up?
when I was a kid.
Okay, what happened?
It was an incident between me and a younger person my age. And when the cop came, I got in trouble. He didn't, and he was the one that started.
Mm-hmm. So in that moment, and who was the other person?
Kid from the neighborhood. Another kid from the neighborhood.
Was it a black kid, white kid?
White kid.
Okay. So that happened that long ago, and it was about that instance. But now, every time anything that happens that seems racist, what happens is that younger part of you takes you right back to that place. And you stored that lie from that moment in your body, and you feel it right here in your chest. So every time you hear about something going wrong, every time you hear about a white person or a black person or some injustice, you actually go right back to your neighborhood, to that exact scene. We just showed it to you. That exact scene is where you go. Everybody in here, if anything gets on your nerve, if anything bothers you, it takes you back to your place. But most of the time when people do, because they don't want to go back to that place, is they'll grab a drink. You'll grab some drugs, because it hurts too much to go back there. But instead of doing that, if you simply would get curious, like old Nathan just did, there is some freedom. Watch this. Well, Nathan, how old are you?
I'm 41.
41 years old. How old was you when that happened?
Maybe 11.
11. I want y'all to watch what we're about to do. This is money right here. People will pay a grip of money to get this done. You guys, afterwards, I'm going to have all y'all give me $38 each. That's not true at all. Well, Nathan, I knew you were special when you came in here, dude. I can't do the math on it. I can tell. So here's what I want you to do. You said you're 41? So I want you to do me a favor and imagine 41-year-old Nathan is going back to that scene where that little boy was at. But you're only watching what happens. So 41-year-old Nathan is about to go back to where 11-year-old Nathan was in that moment. And you're only going to watch what happens. Okay? Tell me when you're there. All right, now tell me what it is you see right now. No, first of all, tell me where you're at. You're 41 and you're there, but you're not. Nobody sees you. You're only in the scene. Tell me what you see.
What I see, I see everything. I see a good visual of everything.
Okay. How do you sense that 11-year-old is feeling right now?
Alone.
Alone. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you at 41 to walk over to 11-year-old you and pull him to the side somewhere where nobody else is at. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Have a seat with him.
Okay.
How do you sense that he feels right now?
Comfort.
Comfort. What do you feel like he needs to hear from you right now?
He's not wrong.
Go ahead and tell him he's not wrong.
Okay.
Ask him if it's okay if you give him a hug.
Okay.
How did he respond just now when you gave him a hug?
Positive.
Now ask him if you can introduce him to a friend of yours. Now go ahead and bring Jesus into this picture. Now ask Jesus, and don't think about this, just wait for him to answer. Ask Jesus, what does he want to say to 11-year-old Nathan? Let me know what he says. What did he say?
He loves you.
Wow. Ask him if there's anything else that he wants him to know.
Okay.
What did he say?
You can have peace.
You can have peace. 2 more questions. Ask 11-year-old Nathan if he could go anywhere in the world, anywhere at all, or he could stay there, but if he could go anywhere in the world, it'd be a lot of fun. Ask him, where would he like to go?
11-year-old Nathan.
Yeah, ask him and just see what he says. Where would he like to go? Anywhere at all. Just actually ask him, and he'll give you an answer.
Okay.
What did he say?
Funfair Park.
Funfair Park. Take him there right now.
You got it? Okay.
You there? How's he look now that he's there?
Happy.
Yeah, real happy.
Oh,
So now, ask him if, now that he's there and he's happy, ask him if there was something heavy he's been carrying around that he doesn't want to carry anymore, so he can just go have fun. And don't try to make sense out of it. It might be a shoe, a backpack, it could be anything at all.
So you said, ask him,
Ask him if there's something heavy that he's been carrying that he would like to let go of.
deep now, dude.
What's that?
You get deep now.
Yeah. This is the last move right here, bro.
Okay.
What did he have?
He's on a personal relationship with his dad.
Ooh. Go ahead and have him hand that over to Jesus. And watch what he looks like when he hands it to Jesus. Yeah. How does he look now?
Free. At ease.
Say it again.
At ease.
Yeah. Let him know that this new place that he's at, Funfair Park, he gets to stay there. He never has to go back to the feelings or that situation again.
He can stay there.
He can stay there forever. Go ahead and tell him that.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. All right. First of all, how was that for you?
It was relief. It was really
Relief. Relief. That's awesome. So I want you to think about something real quick. I want you to imagine that a white dude walks up to you and he says something really negative. Imagine it right now, like it's happening. How you feel about that?
not bothered.
Not bothered. How does your chest feel right now?
Okay.
That's what freedom looks like. That is what freedom looks like. It's that simple. It's that simple. Like he's not feeling that thing that he felt in his chest any longer. Jesus is that awesome. This exercise I just showed you is something that specifically that God has been showing me and my wife. And I felt like I wanted to bring it to you guys. Oh, Nathan, dude, when you sat down, like there's something extra shiny about, not that you greasy or anything, I'm just saying there's like a little, there's this little light about you, dude. It's almost like God sent you here to show some people how to do what we just did. Because before, I'm telling you, I know it seems simple, like, can it be that simple that you got that much freedom? I'm telling you, we've done this with a whole bunch of people, and their freedom is significant. And you just did the thing. So one more time, I want everybody to take a deep breath real quick. Think about something that really bothers you. Something that people do that you can't stand. Something that makes you say, man, I need a drink. I need a hit, just anything. And notice, as you're uncomfortable with it, where you feel it in your physical body. Okay. Raise your hand if you felt it that time. All right, good job, good job. Where'd you feel it at? You felt it in your chest. Where'd you feel it at?
I felt it in the back of my throat.
In the back of his throat. That's not strange at all. Sometimes it's a shoulder. One lady, a couple of days ago, I talked to her, she felt it in her feet. What happened is there's a lie that you believed and you stored it in that part of your body. And now whenever that lie gets triggered, you try to numb it somehow. I can't feel this pain. You don't even know you're doing it. You're just looking to numb it. And there's freedom. But you don't gotta believe me. Ask non-racist Nathan right now. I'm telling you, it is there for you. So real quick, for the people who felt it, and for those who didn't want to share that they felt it, ask God about that area where you just felt it right now. Just say, hey God, where did this feeling originally come from? Just see what he said. Go ahead and ask him right now. He'll give you a memory, a thought, something will pop up. Simply seeing the thing will bring you some freedom. Simply knowing that it's in you as opposed to outside of you will give you some freedom. Did you get a memory? Either one of you guys, what'd you get?
I got a memory of, me growing up in my childhood home.
Yeah. How old were you?
Like 4 or 5 years old.
Uh-huh. What was the thing that was bothering you? What was the thing that you thought of?
My mom or whatever.
Well, I mean, the thing that made you upset.
Her not being here.
Her not being there. Okay, and then you thought of what? What memory did you have?
Like my childhood home, me growing up and just having that family around.
Mm-hmm.
They painted out there that, that get that tangible love from, my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the type of pain up there.
Dope. So he found a memory, and there's a lie that he thinks in there. There's a lie that you believe in. The lie is probably something like, don't nobody want you. But it's a straight up lie that you've been believing in. So now every time that's triggered, you go back to that thing. But it's not even the truth. What'd you feel? What'd you find? It's gonna be another mojo story. You actually got something.
Really, that week is my real dad. I haven't been my real dad since I was 2.
You know your real dad, I mean, what, and then what memory came
My
up?
real dad, I don't know my real dad. My real dad been locked up since I was 2. God liked it out the road.
Man, that's messed up, man. So, what I want y'all to see is normally you would try to numb that thing or do something to be distracted from it, but it's in you and there's freedom available. All you're going to do next, you can go with me or without me, whatever the case is, all you're going to do now is ask God, what is the lie in that memory? And ask him to take it from you. And he will. Ask, oh Nathan. Oh Nathan, I want you to imagine something else, there's something else racist going on. Go ahead and spin a little, like imagine it like it's happening. Imagine the same thing you imagined at first, like it's actually happening. How you feel?
Not about it.
Boom. We don't work together. We didn't drive here together. Like, that's not my guy. Like, we don't work. I just met him for the first time. I actually thought his name was Old Nathan. Good stuff, everybody. All right, so I got a few more minutes left. Let me see. Any questions? Yeah, what's up?
How long you been a comedian for?
I've been doing comedy for, now more of a comedic thought leader, but I've been doing comedy for probably, like 30 years. Since the first time I first got on stage. I've done shows with some really cool cats. I did a show not far from here with Chappelle a long time ago. And that dude is funny, really funny guy, man. So, don't question. Any other questions? Beautiful. What's your name? Joanna. Cool, Joanna, what's your question?
My question is, do you have any motivational speaking videos on
Do I have any motivational speaking videos on YouTube? I probably have about 60 of them. Yeah, so if you go to YouTube and put in Michael Jr., some of my videos will pop up. You'll see some really cool stuff. I did a TED Talk, done the Tonight Show a couple times, BET. One dude introduced me as a white pastor. He was like, he's been on Bet Television. So yeah, BET. And I was in the movie War Room, and I starred in a movie called Selfie Dad. How many people saw Selfie Dad? Oh, thanks, one person. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for that. You my man. What's your name, bro?
Antonio.
Tony? Thanks. What, you said Anthony?
Antonio.
Oh, Antonio. So it's something Antonio. Okay, cool. Where you from, Antonio?
Come on, right.
Where?
Come here.
From here? Oh, cool. You ever want to leave Monroe?
I have before, yeah.
What's that?
I have before, yeah.
You have before? It sucked you right back in? Like what happened?
I have to come back and check on family sometimes.
What'd you say?
Come back and check on family.
You came back to check on your family? Was they good?
In a way, sort
Oh,
of.
cool. Well, you just didn't leave, huh?
I'm going with him.
Oh, you about to leave again? Oh, okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for watching Selfie Dad, man. You want to tell everybody else what you thought of the movie so they can get well on my Selfie Dad? This is my very first movie I ever starred in. I was in War Room as an extra character, not extra, but I was the best friend of the guy who, one of the main characters. Selfie Dad, I starred in the movie. Like if you Google Selfie Dad right now, you're gonna see me on the poster. Yeah. And that movie didn't do nearly as well as War Room.
Now, bet you like we made a lot of money too.
Yeah, no, not at all, because you guys didn't go see it. So it's all your fault, really. That's to be clear about that. Except for Antonio, good looking out. Thanks for that. Unless you got the bootleg. You got the bootleg, didn't you?
I had both.
What's
I
that?
had both.
You got both, so you're the reason I didn't get paid. That's awesome. Thank you very much. He said I had both. I had the original, then I made some bootlegs, but they wasn't selling. Hey, this is interesting. You see this picture of Jesus at the Last Supper? Why they all on the same side of the table? Did they know somebody was taking a picture of them? Like they all like, hey.
Photo op.
It's a photo op. Exactly. That is so cool. Any other questions at all? Any questions about anything at all? Did we bring some of my books? Ooh, we did. I wrote a book. Is there a book somewhere in the building? In the place? I'm gonna leave some books here.
I
Really
got
like.
a question. How long it took you to write the book?
How long did it take to write the book? It took 4 years to write the book. Yeah, my ink pen kept running out. I was like, this thing is tripping, man. No, it really took 4 years. But once we got it done, I was like, phew. So I tell the story about being homeless in the book. I had a police officer come into my apartment, put a gun in my head, put a hammer back. I tell that story. It's actually a really good story. Meaning, it's a really good story as in, I'm not mad at the officer, I'm not tripping. The thing that saved me, I mean, he put a gun in my head, they treated me really bad, and then shortly after these officers leave my apartment, they wrongly came into my apartment, but shortly after they leave, I'm on the ground, I'm crying, I'm upset. This woman comes in crying, I don't know who she is. It's the first time I ever saw her. It's a Spanish lady, she's like, they took everything, she's crying. She is apparently the boyfriend, the girlfriend or the wife of the guy whose house got raided across the hall from me. And they took him to jail, they took all of her stuff, and she comes in and she's crying. And I'm upset because the police officer, they pretty much could have did whatever they wanted to just now. And now she's in here crying and she has 2 kids with her. She's crying, it took everything. And as I'm sitting on the floor really upset and mad, my heart went out to her. And I reached for my wallet, and I only had like $14 in my wallet, and I just gave it to her. And then she took the money, and she thanked me, she gave me a hug, and she left, and I never saw her again. The thing I want you to catch from that story, and I realize now, that was the moment that my healing started. Because I was hurt, I was scared, I was afraid, I didn't know what to do. And in that setting, God blessed me with an opportunity to give to someone else. And it was the greatest gift I could have ever gotten. Listen, I know you guys, some of you are in a really low point right now. And as crazy as this may sound, one of the things I highly recommend you do is look for an opportunity to give to someone else. There are people all around you who need what you have right now. It's a lie for you to say, I don't have anything. You do. You have something you can give. Some encouragement, a smile. Listen, Nathan really blessed me today. His openness, his smile, his attitude is like he had something to give to all of us, and you guys have something to give too. So I'm telling you, just simply ask the question, what can I give? And that is the road to your full healing. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. Thank you for letting me be here.